Hello. The game of pool has long been known as an American staple in barroom culture in the United States, as highlighted by Sarah Baird and her research article, The Life and Death of the American Pool Hall. Now, although this game is often enjoyed with a beer in hand, it has also been known for its intense requirements of great focus and patience, something, funny enough, that drunk people have a very difficult time demonstrating. Now, this game has also been shown to improve motor functioning skills by research conducted by Har and colleagues in 2020 for individuals who play on a frequent basis, that is. Now, the great thing about the game of pool is that it has no prerequisites regarding size or weight, making it a great candidate for all individuals to enjoy, whether it be in your parents' basement, at a local bar, or even at your town's local pool hall to play in a recreational league. This game is meant to be enjoyed by everyone. I personally have been playing since I was about 7 years old because my grandfather was a billiards fanatic and he made me pick up the pool stick and play with him as soon as he deemed me old enough to hold the stick. So today I want to show you guys a little bit of the fundamentals and basics of holding the stick, putting the stick together, chalking the stick, and a little bit of shooting practice. But before we get into any of that, we need to put the stick together. So you put the stick together by putting the screw end of the base of the stick into the little hole. And you screw on, just as everyone's always taught, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, just like so. So. Now, after we put the stick together like this, very basic, we put chalk on the stick. Now the chalk goes on the Q end of the stick, on the tip. It's called the Q tip. And the reason we're putting the chalk on the stick is to create friction so that when you hit the ball, you have more grip and accuracy to put the ball where you want it to go. So now that you know how to put the stick together and to chalk the stick, we can get into the proper technique for holding the stick, starting with stance. Now, you want to hold the stick in your most dominant hand that you feel comfortable with, and you want to get in a low position so that you see the ball kind of on a flat perspective, at a flat perspective. Now, you want to hold the stick and put your hand and your arm on the back end of the stick that's supporting it at a 90-degree angle, and this prevents from having a wobbly motion so that you can hit the stick smooth and you can hit it straight. So that when you hit the cue ball, this is the cue ball, so that when you hit the cue ball, you hit it straight instead of at a wobbly angle so that it goes where you want it to. Now the next thing we need to discuss when you're holding the stick and hitting it is the bridge. Now the bridge is the hand that you're using to stabilize the stick at the end from where you're shooting. This is the bridge. Now there are two types of bridges you can create. The one that I personally like to use is the open bridge. And in the open bridge, you create a hand motion like this. And when you put your hand down, you put the stick between the thumb and the rest of your hand right here. And like so, it creates a stable bridge for the stick to move smoothly on so that there's no wobbly motion. And again, having your arm at a 90-degree angle also reinforces the stability of the hold. Now the second bridge that people sometimes like to use is the closed bridge. And you create a little circle with your hand like so. And some people like to do this. Now I don't like to do this personally because I think there's a little too much friction and you'd have to put chalk on your hands to get rid of that friction. But some people think that they have more stability when holding the stick like that. Now, the next thing we get into is actually hitting the cue ball. Now, the first thing that I like to do is do a few practice strokes using the good technique that I just showed you guys, like this. And we use practice strokes before we even hit the ball. Now, when you're using these practice strokes, you want to aim directly at the center of the cue ball. So when you're hitting it directly at the center of the cue ball, you really want the stick in these practice strokes to be right dead on in the center before you even follow through and actually hit the cue ball. So After taking a few practice strokes and you feel ready to hit the cue ball, just keep your eye right on the ball and follow through. Now, the follow through is important because if you stop, you probably won't get as much power behind the ball that you're looking for. And sometimes it can also have a weird impact on the physics and where the cue ball will land after it hits a target ball. Now, when you're practicing hitting the cue ball into an object ball would be the ball that the cue ball is going to end up colliding with. You should be ready as long as you practice all the fundamentals and the basics that we got into prior to hitting this target ball. So, like so, keep your arm at that 90-degree angle. Create the bridge. Do some practice strokes. Keep your eye on the center of the cue ball. Make sure that you're taking your time, and when you feel ready, follow through and right into the pocket. Now, like I stated before, the game of pool is meant to be enjoyed by any and all. And with practice of some of the skills that I just showed you guys, this game can turn from just good drunken fun at a local bar to an actual genuine skill set that you can improve and show all of your friends and family and impress them with. And as stated by Joe Davis, a famous pool player, in billiards, the pursuit of perfection is endless. Every game teaches you something new. So I hope that you learned something new from this demonstrative speech regarding improving the fundamentals and basics of pool. Thank you and have a great day.